Hey guys, it's Janis. Welcome back to my channel. So today I've got one of my favorite types of videos again, which is just talking about books, and these are also my least popular videos, so if you're here, thank you for being here. I'm making this because my last video was about my 2021 goals, and someone asked me like what exactly I'm going to do for my reading habit next year, and I had said that I wanted to read more diversely, and so this video is about how I'm going to do that. And being me, I obviously made like a whole list and a whole bullet journal page and all of that. I planned for everything, so when the person asked that question, I definitely had an answer. But yeah, this video is just going to be me nerding out for another few minutes as I talk about my reading goals for next year. And one of the things I'm doing this year is the Diverse Reading Challenge. I saw this a lot on Instagram last year, and it was basically people setting goals for themselves to read specifically into diverse cultures, but also different gender and sexual identities or different types of time periods. So I also took it upon myself to make my own list, which is what this is. So here's just a list of 15 different types of books I want to start reading in 2021, and they're all books that I've never read before. So this is definitely diverse for me because it is diversified from my own living experience and also diversified from my old reading habits. But yeah, let's just dive right into it. And I separated my list into 4 different categories, so I'm just going to do them one by one. And the first category is nonfiction. So I have 4 types of books I've written under this category, and they're nonfiction about another religion, nonfiction about Christianity written by a non-Westerner, nonfiction I strongly disagree with, and nonfiction about gender and sexual identity. So as you can see, they are weirdly specific, and that's just because those are the books that I know I should read, but I definitely don't read. For example, for nonfiction about another religion, that's something I definitely need to get into because I feel like one of my nerd areas that I love is spirituality, and I've definitely looked a lot at Christianity, but also the branches of Christianity, or even basically not Christianity anymore, like universalism and all these different strains of thought, but they all relate back to the whole concept of God and personal spiritual development, and that's all very interesting. But I just haven't read maybe books specifically about different religions like Islam or Hinduism, and so that's just something I want to read next year. The other thing I have here is Christian book written by a non-Westerner, and this is just because I read a lot of Christian books, as I said, but almost none of them are written by non-white, non-men, or non-Westerners, so non-Germany, America, Britain. And so I definitely want to read more books about faith, but definitely from a different perspective. As we can see, modern white evangelicalism has caused so much havoc in the last year, and I definitely want to read more about faith from other perspectives. So onto the second category, which is just stories set in different cultures written by people of that culture. I've got 7 books under that, and so here's basically just a running list of cultures that I almost never read stories about, and that's just East Asia, which I live in, but I don't read books about East Asia. I feel like India, Africa, Middle East, Latin America, the Nordic countries, and Russia. So basically what I aim to do is just read a novel set in one of those cultures and also written by someone from that culture, so it's not like some white girl writing about being a Japanese woman, but it's really in that culture. And for my last one, which was a book set in Russia, I added a caveat, which is it has to be written by a woman. And that's because it's not like I don't read books about Russia. I love Russian books, but all of them are written by men. And I feel like I just need to branch out a little bit on that front. Okay, and then the third category is reading from different genres and themes. And I've got 3 types of books under this. So the first is Afrofuturism. Second is a book inspired by folklore, and the third is a retelling of a classic. Now this is where the literature nerd in me really jumps out, and I think I love reading from different genres, and I think last year I read at least 15 different genres, but still these few genres are stuff I've never jumped into before. I don't really know a lot of books in these genres, so if you have any ideas, definitely jump in and let me know. For example, for Afrofuturism, I only heard about this genre last year, and in my head, it was always just Black Panther. That's the only thing I can think of when I think of that word. But I definitely want to read more novels about that because apparently it's a whole big genre that a lot of people write books about. And for retelling of a classic, I just wanted to read it because I've read a lot of classics recently, and they're all good, but they're always very white and stuffy, as I said. And I definitely want to read a twist on that. For example, I know A White Sargasso Sea is a twist on Jane Eyre. and I don't really know a lot of books in this genre yet, so if you know, just let me know. And final category is just reading translated works, and so far the one I definitely want to read is translated from an Asian language. The reason for that is I've only ever read books written in an Asian language when it's translated into Chinese, and so like Japanese books I'll read them translated into Chinese, and I feel like there's definitely like a flavor in that translation that's not the same flavor you get if you translate Japanese into, say, English. And I just want to like read books that are translated into English to see what that's like. And I do have specific books in mind for this category, so I really want to read Murakami this year. And I've read his books. I read one of his books once translated into Chinese, and that was very odd because I feel like surrealism is, at least I don't ever read surrealism in Chinese, and so when I read it, it felt so weird to me and also very difficult to understand. But I'm very interested to see what it's like when it's translated into English, and for that, another reason is because just on Instagram this year, I've seen so many like English people reading Murakami and saying they love his work, and so I wonder if his English translations like are different from his Chinese ones, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna read it and find out. So yeah, translated works from an Asian language are something I definitely want to read, but also from different languages. And if you have any suggestions as well, you can leave them in the comments. So yeah, that's it for my list for my diverse reading challenge in 2021. And what I really hope you guys will do, what you did in my last book video, is just to comment suggestions for what to read within those categories. I know a lot of you guys sent me like good 2020 new releases when I last made my video, and I definitely will check all of those out. I remember stuff like My Dark Vanessa or a lot of different like Russian books. You guys recommended so many, and I haven't had time to read any of them yet, but I definitely want to. Oh, and also if you want to join in this reading journey with me, you can follow me on my book Instagram, which is @everythingjanis, and that's where I post all of my book reviews, and I'll write something every time I finish a book, so it updates quite frequently and you can come join along the journey with me. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching to the end if you did, and happy reading for 2021. Bye!